What's up, guys? Walked into Target today and ran into Angelina Jolie, aka Thena. Well, it's not actually Angelina Jolie, it's just the action figure, but you know what I mean. I'm really happy I found her too because she's proven to be a very popular Target exclusive. That or they just didn't make enough. I was actually going to review VIDOES next, followed by Spider Dude, but I also happened to find Druig finally, if you've seen on my Instagram. So what I'll do is I will review VIDOES next, and then Druig will go up against gold and black suit Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's probably going to win, but you could prove me wrong, who knows. So keep an eye out for that voting poll to show up in my community tab. And in case you guys missed the reviews of any of these already opened Eternals, you can check them out right up here. Just go tap and then bling, thing comes down, then you just pick whichever one you want. And now let's go and take a closer look at this awesome Eternal. Starting with the box, here is a closer look at it with these sides that have the nice glam shot art, which I actually really like. I think they did a great job on the artwork, and the suit just, it looks really nice. You know, it's like a champagne gold mixed with a lighter champagne gold. But anyways, here's some of the wording, and then it doesn't show any other figures because she is an exclusive, and here is her barcode to find at Target. And there she is, guys, out of the package. Thena, played by Angelina Jolie. Now to date, my favorite movie that she stars in is Still Wanted, which is based off a comic book. You know, the movie with the curving bullets. Also starring James McAvoy, aka Professor Xavier. So both of them are now in the MCU, technically. Or at least Marvel superheroes. Because the X-Men technically aren't really part of the MCU just yet. But anywho, Thena also comes with the most accessories of all the Eternal figures thus far. So that's kind of interesting. And she costs the same as all the other ones if you bought her online from Target, so But she is an awesome looking figure, so let's go and take a closer look. Starting with the face sculpt, it's actually a very nice looking sculpt, although mine has a little bit of glue excess, kind of spillage right up there, which is kind of annoying. And the face print seems ever so slightly off to the left. I think they missed the mark a little bit, but aside from that, the likeness to Angelina Jolie, especially from the side silhouette, is actually very impressive. Hasbro is actually getting really good at the face likeness, and they actually are superior to like the other competition, which is like what, SH Figure Arts and Medicom, and those run almost $100. So I mean, if they don't keep up, Hasbro's only competition may just be Hot Toys. And her hair is actually very nicely sculpted as well. It actually kind of reminds me of a Disney princess hair for some reason. It's just has that vibe to it, you know, like Belle or something. I mean, she did play Maleficent, which is a Disney character, although a villain, but either way, it looks really nice. And it's flexible too, unlike Makari's hair. And moving to the body, I'll have to pop her head off because the hair just gets in the way. There's the bottom of the head in case you're interested in customization or whatnot. She has that dog bone joint up here, which is strangely a different colored champagne gold instead of skin colored. But anyways, she has a nice sculpting going on there, and the upper chest plate is very large, but it has some nice detailing as well. Nice sculpt line details all the way around. Details go all the way inside as well, as you can see. And then the rear has this nice kind of scale spine armor, which is pretty cool. This armor shoulder piece right here is actually part of the top sculpt, as you can see. So it's not exactly flexible or anything like that, but it doesn't seem to really hinder too much of the shoulder joint. It doesn't go super high, but it doesn't, you know, make it very low, so it's not too bad. Oh, and for those interested, her upper neck piece here is actually a completely separate piece glued on. It is not painted or anything like that, so you may have a gap, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about, you know, garbage paint job or anything like that. And here's a closer look at her arm with the nice shoulder armor there, and just lots of just different shades of champagne gold, which is, it's interesting, the color combination. It actually works, you know. It's almost like she's wearing camouflage for her own sake of camouflage, because it's just all champagne gold. But I don't know, it just works. It's a really nice color combination. She has more champagne gold on her hands as well. And another thing that's kind of nice about her body not having the paint lines such as Icarus here is you don't have to worry about finding, you know, bad paint jobs or anything like that, like Druig, which I'll show in the video when I review him. Actually, you know what, I'll just show it right now since you can just look right in the box. But yeah, take a look at that. See how the sculpt for the circle is totally misaligned from the paint circle? So yeah, this Druig is bad. I'm still looking for a good one, but so far this is the best one I could find. But yeah, total botched paint job. And moving on down, you can see she has some almost invisible stitching sculpt right there. Kind of catch the light there so you can see that, which is pretty nice. Then she's got a very cool looking loincloth there. Very nicely sculpted, very nicely painted. love the sheen of that champagne gold. And what's interesting is the way this works is it actually moves up and down. It's not glued down or anything, and it actually has a peg that locks in right there, so to speak. I guess if you could say it locks in. There's the peg right there on the inside. Then on the back here, it actually is another peg right there that is barely visible right there. So it just kind of holds its place there if you want, but then you can also move it out of the way if you want as well for posing or anything like that. And speaking of moving it out of the way, we'll go ahead and move it out of the way so we can take a closer look at the legs here, which is just smoothly sculpted, more that kind of champagne cream gold color there. And they did sculpt in the Lego Jumbo, which is kind of good and bad because it does blend in with the color, so it kind of disappears, but then they added that white one right there, so it's just, ugh, you can't win with that. But anyways, she had some really nice boots as well with lots of nice detail, some wrinkles there. Then she's got some shoelaces there. If you look very closely, you can see the little stitching right on the very edge right there, which is just lots of attention to detail, very fine sculpting. And then you got the nice shoes here as well. Then there's the bottom. Now one thing I do want to point out is these knees. I mean, this little kind of lip right up here looks really cool from the front there and has a slight side. But when you go all the way to the side, it starts looking really weird because it's just a really thin piece of, you know, joint plastic, and it just, I don't know what it is, but it looks really weird and just not clean, and just, it's just odd when you see it from the side. I mean, from the front is great, but I mean, from the side is kind of just, I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? But anyways, as for the rest of the articulation, her head does rotate in a circle, but you do have to contort her hair a bit, lift up on the back as well to get it to turn, and she kind of just, the hair kind of guides how far and the angle that her head turns at, so it's kind of a hit or miss. Probably easier just pop the head off and then position it wherever you want. So yeah, she does have some side to side, very little because of the hair, not too much forward, and definitely not too much back. And her arm rotates in a circle, but it does get hindered by that arm piece there. We just pop her head off so it's easier to see. As you can see, it doesn't go vertical, it kind of goes off to the side there. Then you go up there, and that is as much as it will go. It's not super flexible. As you can see, it does have some flex. See how it's a little bit higher, but not very much. But anyway, she has the single jointed, supposedly pinless elbow. It's just the female elbow. And then of course her hand spins in a circle and does the flapper. And then she has a nice ball joint torso that has some click adjustments as it goes in a full circle. Has some good side to side as well. And then of course backwards and forwards. And if you look very closely, there's such a big gap, you can actually see the joint that's on the inside. So if you're a customizer and you wanted to pop her off for some reason, the top torso, looks like it's doable. And her legs go that far forward thanks to the loincloth design there. Not very far back because of the booty design, but it does go back sideways like the other legends. And she has not the best but not the worst splits. And of course the thigh swivel and the weird double jointed knee there, which I'll probably just have to get used to. And of course the ankle that goes that far back, that far forward, and spins with click adjustment. And for her accessories, she actually comes with quite a bit. As I said, she comes with 4 blades here, those swords and blades, and of course 2 additional hands. Here's a close look at those additional hands. They're really just holding hands to hold on to the blades. Now of the blades that she have, they look very Asian to me, so I kind of looked them up to see if I could find what they are. I'm no weapons expert, but I did look this up, and this long spear actually looks like a monk's spade, which is also called a Shaolin spade. It has the very same kind of moon crescent top. Lots of nice details there as well. So that's kind of interesting there. Nice and flexible too, but also holds its shape. And then of course this one is very obviously a Japanese katana sword, a samurai sword right there. Nice and bendy, but also nice paint job. Lots of nice details as well. And this next one I had a little trouble looking up, but it looks to be a Japanese naginata sword. Usually there's spears apparently, but this one is a sword version. Lots of nice details as well, and some bend to it. And finally you have this dagger here, which I really had trouble looking up. I'm still not sure about it. This looks to be like a Guandao Chinese pole weapon. It looks like it was removed from the top, and then they just, you know, she's just using the top portion as opposed to the whole pole. At least that's what I think. I'm not sure. But once again, lots of nice details and then some flex to it. Now, fun tidbit, going back to the box, it actually says here she uses her cosmic energy to form handheld weapons that she can think of. And when you consider that she has 2 Chinese blades right here, seems like pole weapons, maybe it's interchangeable or something, and then 2 Japanese swords, I think it's safe to say that Thena is probably hiding on the Asian continent. So in the trailer scene where we see the Eternals go to find Thena, it's probably somewhere in Asia, maybe China, Japan, but then again she does have 2 adopted sons, one from Vietnam, one from Cambodia, so it'll be interesting to see which continent, which specific Asian country they find her in. Yeah, I kind of nerded out a little bit there and went into research mode, but anyways. Moving on, here's what she looks like holding the Guandao top and then the monk's spade here, although I do want to give you a big heads up. This pole here, this monk's spade, actually has a very thick diameter there, and her hand isn't really that big, so it really stretched her hand out. I would recommend that if you're going to be holding the monk's spade here, you use her open hand. It doesn't grip it, but it also won't stretch out this hand, which if you stretch this out, then the other blades are just going to fall out. And here's her holding the monk's spade with her 2 open hands, which isn't too bad. If you jam it in there really good, it kind of holds its place, so it's not too bad. So it's doable. And finally, here she is holding the katana and naginata, both of which I believe are supposed to be 2-handed blades. I know the katana is, but you know, she's an Eternal, so she can, you know, single-hand wield them, like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. And for some comparisons, here she is next to Crow, the supposed villain in the Eternals. I think scale-wise, she's almost accurate. Based off the trailer, it seems like the top of her head should be more around his mid-waist level, but then again, the trailer shows Crow having an extended leg here, kind of a extra bended stuff, so I guess maybe he got taller. And here's a semi-scene recreation from the trailer.
You can't protect any of them.
And here she is next to the rest of her Marvel Legends Eternals that I've reviewed and opened so far. And finally, here she is next to a few more Marvel Legends. Well guys, overall she's a really great looking figure. They really nailed the paint job with the champagne gold and then the lighter champagne gold, which is kind of cream, but still looks great. And the likeness to Angelina Jolie is very impressive. I definitely can't wait to finish this line. But anywho dudes, VIDOES will be the next one I review, and then there'll be a voting poll between Druig and Black and Gold Spider Dude. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.